Let me just say a few words, and then we'll turn things over to Beverly as our MC tonight. Thanks to all for joining us here for this reading of the Taste Tester. We have people from 3 countries and 7 U.S. states, and by my count, every time zone.
Nice.
So we have an international cast here. And we're still waiting on Tim, but Beverly, why don't you go ahead and get started? And by the time you get through with all the introductions, ideally Tim will be on board with us.
All right, and it looks like we are recording as well. So what I'll do is read the opening paragraph and then introduce the cast. I'll read the character name, a little bit of a description, and if that person then could unmute themselves and introduce themselves and say where they're from, that would be great. The Taste Tester, a comedy with a message and echoes of Shakespeare set in Renaissance Italy. A shipwreck on a deserted island leaves only 3 survivors, 2 young children and a forgetful woman who thinks she is their servant. The girl, Antoinette, grows up to be a pirate. The boy, Tristan, grows up to be a poet, and all are eventually rescued. But now the brother is thrown into the Duke's prison for writing an offensive poem, and the sword-wielding pirate sister is determined to rescue him. She disguises herself as a man and takes a job as the royal taste tester in order to get close enough to free him. She finds that everyone in the palace is in the wrong job. The court herald doesn't like to speak in public, the court poet can't rhyme, the chef can't cook, and so forth, though each has some other talent. The play ends with a dramatic sword fight between a man dressed as a woman and a woman dressed as a man, and the discovery that Antoinette is the true heir to the duchy and the forgetful servant is really her mother. Antoinette's first act upon taking office is to put everyone in the proper job. The message, of course, is that everyone has some hidden talent, plus a nice sword fighting scene and some strong roles for women. Cast of 18, 4 female, 6 male, and 8 non-gender. I'm Beverly Amsler. I'm reading the stage directions. I'm from Roanoke, Virginia. Antoinette is a pirate who disguises herself as a man and turns out to be the heir to the throne.
Hi, my name is Kate Cash, and I'm in Kansas City, Missouri.
Malvina, her faithful but very forgetful servant.
Hi, I'm Trina Yancey, and I'm from Fincastle, Virginia.
Joanna, a fishmonger who has a keen eye for finances and really ought to be Chancellor of the Exchequer.
Hi, I'm Cheryl Carter, and I'm coming from Lynchburg, Virginia.
Fernando, the funeral director, a frustrated comedian.
Yes, I am a frustrated comedian. Yes, I am. But the guy over here, he is Bill Armstrong. Yes, and he is in Norfolk, Virginia. Yeah.
The court herald, who doesn't like to speak before a crowd and would really rather be an artist, give a name as Phoebus or Phoebe.
Hi, Ron Ford. I'm in Spokane, Washington.
Geraldo, the Lord Chamberlain, who is foolish and vain.
Hi, Scott Cooper in Waterloo, Ontario, Canada.
Angelo, the chef, a frustrated actor.
Yes, I'm Gary Reed from Roanoke, Virginia.
The Duke, who doesn't want to be Duke, but can juggle.
John Jennings from Melbourne, Australia.
Lorenzo, the executioner, who really ought to be the chef.
Walker from Paris, Texas.
Tristan, the brother of Antoinette, a prisoner.
James Brunt, Denver, Colorado.
Sally, the serving wench, who ought to be security chief.
I'm Erin or Beth Brackett, and I am from Shepherdstown, West Virginia.
Court poet, who can't rhyme, but is a scientist. The given name is Lucius or Lucia.
Kelly Hoagland, and I'm from Roanoke, Virginia.
Jester, who isn't funny, but could be a good funeral director. Given name is Claudius or Claudia.
Hi, I'm Bill Joppick, and I'm in Copper Hill, Virginia.
And sommelier, who doesn't drink, but uses the bottle for flower arrangements and could be a florist. Given name is Orlando or Olivia.
Carolyn Ziegler, I'm from Roanoke, Virginia.
Celestia, a soothsayer who can't tell fortunes, but is an astronomer on time.
Nancy Lawrence from Roanoke, Virginia.
Guard 1, who is a terrible guard, but possibly a great high school English teacher.
Tim Wood from Paris, Texas.
Guard 2, who is also a terrible guard, but possibly a great high school English teacher.
Mary Carter from Corsicana, Texas.
Artist who can't draw, but is an antiquities expert. A given name is Emilio or Amelia.
Hi, I'm Danielle Sainer. I'm from Bell Vernon, Pennsylvania.
And also a brief non-speaking role, the dead body of the previous taste tester can be a live actor or actress or simulated under a sheet. This setting, the marketplace of a mythical city in Italy, more or less during the Renaissance. Scene 1, Antoinette enters, dressed as a man.
Ah, the great city of Illyrium at last. The sights, the sounds.
Joanna the fishmonger enters with a fish basket.
Day old fish! It's your day old fish! Bargain on day old fish!
Joanna exits.
The smells. And Malvina, where did she go? Malvina.
Her servant Malvina enters, carrying a heavy load.
Coming, master, coming. Here you go, master. Oh. 'Tis a heavy load, master. A heavy load.
'Tis but a trifle compared to the weight that lays upon my shoulders. You may set down your burden for a while, Malvina, but mine still presses upon me like the world upon the shoulders of mighty Atlas.
Yes, master. I am master. Remind me again, master.
My brother, the reason we're here, to right the wrongs that have been done to him.
Oh, right.
Well, now that we're here, there's no longer the need for this artifice of disguise.
Antoinette takes off her hat, lets down her hair, perhaps removes her coat, and generally reveals herself to be a woman, so a woman armed with a sword.
Damn rogues, the road is no safe place for innocent travelers. I tell you, Malvina, if I ruled these lands, those robbers we met at the city gates would feel the cold steel of justice. No, wait, that was the toll booth. Well, you get the idea. Either way, highway robbery. 2 crowns just across the bridge.
Antoinette wraps the sword up in her coat. Joanna enters.
Ha! You think that's expensive? You should see what they pay me to get rid of this stuff once it's about a week old. Phew!
Antoinette pulls out some coins.
I don't think we need to wait that long.
Thank you, ma'am. Here you go.
Joanna hands over 1 fish and smiles. Antoinette understands her blackmail.
Fine. Here.
Antoinette forks over even more money for the entire basket.
Bless you.
Joanna looks at the money admiringly.
Ah, old style crowns, too. Collectors would pay good money for these. Thank you, ma'am. Now I can buy some day old tripe. You won't believe the markup on that.
Joanna laughs and exits. Antoinette looks at the basket, then hands it to an audience member.
Here, you better take this. Preferably outside. You! So, what's for dinner?
A girl?
No, I'm a mermaid. Can't you see my flippers? Of course I'm a girl. You forgot? How can you forget a thing like that?
I forget anything, no matter what it is.
True.
Yeah. For value to you support.
Poor sweet thing. If we could but unlock your memory, the stories you might tell, the mysteries you might reveal. You could sing me sweet songs about the father I never knew. But no time for that now. We have business at hand. If you remember nothing else, Malvina, remember this. My dear brother, my only kin, lies tonight in yonder castle in chains, and while the bonds of iron that hold him in those dungeon walls may be strong, the bonds of blood are stronger still. Plainly put, my old companion, I mean to set him free. No petty prince dares imprison the brother of the dread pirate Antonio. Who's he, you ask?
Who's he?
Who's who?
Him.
You mean my brother?
That other fellow, the dread pirate so-and-so.
Antonio?
I thought you were Antoinette.
I am.
But you just said you are Antonio. I'm so confused.
Oh, Malvina, I don't know why I bother. Once more from the top. When we were but infants, my brother and I were shipwrecked upon some uncharted isle. Our parents surely drowned. All hands lost, except for our faithful servant, wise beyond her years, but knocked senseless in the tragedy, unable to tell us anything except our Christian names.
Oh, that's so sad.
Oh, I'm talking about you.
Oh, right. I knew that.
Had it not been for you, we surely would have perished.
Right.
Instead, we grew up wild and free, our only possessions of flotsam and jetsam salvaged from the tempest-tossed seas that orphaned us, a library of books, and a sharp-handled golden sword. My brother, my dear, sweet, soft-natured soul, he was raised by those books. Me, I took up the sword.
Antoinette brandishes her sword.
He became a poet, wrestling words into rhyme. I became a fighter, making my sword sing in the air. But when we were at last rescued by a band of passing pirates, you urged me to adopt that disguise for my own safety, and I became one of their members. Pirates aren't exactly equal opportunity employers, you know.
Joanna enters.
Ha! And neither is this place. Why do you think I'm stuck out here selling veiled fish? Get your sun-dried mackerel right here. Get your sun-dried mackerel. What? I couldn't find any tripe. Get your sun-dried mackerel. Get it now. The price will only go up.
Joanna exits.
My brother, he wrote odes for their triumphs, sagas for their tragedies, epics for their table and tournaments.
Did they have sun-dried mackerel on their tables?
What? I doubt it. Me, I became Antonio, the great Antonio, the dread Antonio, the pirate with the blade that knew no equal. And when at last I had liberated enough gold coins to buy my own ship, instead I gave it to my brother, so he could attend university and study at the feet of the scholars he had come to admire from afar.
Oh, that's very thoughtful. What do you mean by liberated?
Don't ask. You can just forget that part.
Okay, I'm good at that. Forget what?
There you go. But now, my sweet brother, my dear brother, my only brother, the only kin I will ever know, has apparently been the noble duke of this realm. And for what? A poem. A poem! Mere words are now enough to land a man in jail. They say the pen is mightier than the sword, but in this case, I brought my sword anyway.
Antoinette unsheathes her sword.
I cannot persuade the Duke by point of logic and sweet reason to free my beloved brother. Then I shall persuade him at point of cold steel. Now there's just one problem. How shall I get inside?
Fernando, the funeral director, enters, followed by guard 1 and guard 2, carrying a body on a stretcher.
What's going on?
Joanna enters, ever so curious.
Did another one croak? I knew it. They always croak. Just like that, too. It's the funniest thing. They never seem to last more than a few days.
Bill, you're on mute.
Uh-oh. Make way for the dead.
What are you talking about?
Of course, it's not very funny if you're concerned about turnover.
Who's turned over?
Not him. He's stretched out just like we found him, face down on the kitchen floor. If you want to know who he is, well, it's him, the deceased. Can't you tell?
I mean, before he was deceased.
Oh, that. He was the royal taste tester. Probably best not to ask for seconds if I were you.
They say it costs double every time you have to replace an employee. There are recruiting costs, training costs. You know what the paperwork is like.
Government gets you coming and going, don't they? Looks like they got him going.
Speaking of recruiting, I wonder where they're going to find another taste tester.
You know, that reminds me of a joke. Okay, so picture this. A priest, a rabbi, and a minister walk into a bar.
Oh no, not this one again.
You think he knows any others?
The court herald emerges and puts up a sign that reads, "Wanted, taste tester, inquire within." After admiring the sign for a bit, the herald exits.
I mean, someone would have to be really desperate to take a job like that.
Desperate, eh?
So the rabbi says that...
But I guess there are always people out there whose dream it is to work in the palace, rub shoulders with the royalty and all that. Say they met the Duke. I don't understand it myself.
Duke, you say?
And the minister, he says...
Oh, yes. I imagine the taste tester runs into the Duke all the time. The Duke probably says, "Here, taste this, taste that. Taste tester, here. See if this milk is good, gone bad. Taste tester, see if this potato salad is good." Don't want the Duke to get a royal tummy ache, you know. Think of the lost productivity if your Duke is out of commission for any period of time. Why, the whole government might seize up, just like that.
Seize, you say?
Oh, but such a thankless job. And in the end, you die. I don't know who would want it. Wouldn't surprise me if they have to outsource it.
And that's when the priest says, "Yeah, but think of all the fish."
Everyone stares at the funeral director.
I guess you had to have been there.
I get it. That's funny.
Guard 1 hits guard 2.
Sorry.
So this taste tester, do you think they'd even have to taste test the gruel they give the prisoner down in the dungeon too?
Oh, I'd imagine so. Somebody has to make sure it's thin enough. Don't want to be wasting the good stuff on inmates, you know.
Usually that one knocks them dead. Well, not literally.
The funeral director addresses the corpse.
Sorry, just a figure of speech.
And do you think they'd have to take the gruel down to the dungeon in person?
Now that I couldn't say. From what I've seen, the palace is way overstaffed. If I were in charge of the place, first thing I'd do is clear out the dead wood.
I don't know about dead wood, but this one, he sure is stiff as a board. Get it? Dead wood, stiff as a board?
Antoinette, why are you asking all these questions?
I mean, if you can't laugh at death and destruction, what can you laugh at?
So do you think...
The court herald enters and amends the help wanted sign to add men only. Then the court herald exits.
I guess not. Well, so much for this look, I guess.
Antoinette puts her hair up under her hat.
Come on, Malvina. We have a date with Destiny.
Destiny? Who's she? You never told me you had a girlfriend. Oh, I'm so confused.
Come on, I'll explain it all to you.
Antoinette and Malvina exit.
Well, off to the races. Make way! Make way for the dead!
Come on!
Aren't there some stagehands who can do this?
Funeral director exits, so do guard 1 and guard 2 with the body. Joanna, left alone on stage, looks at the audience and shrugs.
Don't look at me. I'm just trying to earn a living. Day old fish! Get your day old fish! Buy them now. Price goes up with the smell.
Joanna exits. Scene 2, the marketplace. Geraldo, the Lord Chamberlain, talks with Angelo, the chef. Geraldo is a haughty sort who is talking more to himself than to the chef.
That's murder. I tell you, murder.
Murder most foul?
Of course it's foul. What other kind of murder would it be? Personally, I think it's a serial killer.
Oh, no, it wasn't the serial killer. It was the soup.
No, not that kind of cereal. I mean, think about it, Angelo. Every time we get a new taste tester, what happens? He drops dead. That's no accident, I tell you. I can see it all quite clearly now.
You can? Where?
Do you want to know what I think is going on? I think someone's trying to poison the Duke. That's what I think.
Oh, well, it could be just like in Hamlet, where Claudius, the king's brother, poisons the king. The king's sleeping out in the orchard, and Claudius pours some kind of poison in his ear, and they blame it on a snake bite, and...
Yeah, an entertaining tale, perhaps. Mildly useful to school children. But completely irrelevant to the matter at hand.
It's Shakespeare. Shakespeare is always relevant.
Right, yes. Well, you just stick to cooking. I intend to get to the bottom of this.
You know, Shakespeare had a character named Bottom. He had his head turned into a donkey by a fairy.
I did not get to be the Lord Chamberlain to the noble Duke by sitting around on my duff.
And in Macbeth, there was a character named Macduff. He was the one who fulfilled the prophecy about how no man of a woman born could harm Macbeth because he was...
Oh, yeah, you're just full of them, aren't you? Well, don't worry. I'll overlook your little personality quirk if you look the other way on my methods. They're a bit, shall we say, unconventional.
There's always a method to your madness, then.
No, I'll be mad if I don't catch you trying to do this. And then the Duke will have my head.
Geraldo, the Lord Chamberlain, exits.
As long as it's not a donkey head. Oh, well, I don't know what it is. People just don't appreciate Shakespeare today. Me, I try to follow the bard in everything I do. Now, what did I do with that recipe? Ah, right here it is. Eye of newt and toe of frog, wool of bat and tongue of dog. Maybe this batch will turn out better than the last. Shame about that poor fellow. And I wonder who's trying to poison the Duke. Ah, there's the fishmonger. Oh, ma'am, say, would you have any fillet of fenny snake today? How about some wool of bat?
Angelo exits. Scene 3, the dungeon. Tristan, the brother Antoinette, is chained to the wall. The executioner is happily setting up a fancy table on which he will eat.
So, what did you think?
About what?
The chicken. I tried a new sauce. What do you think? A little too heavy? A little too spicy? I tried to put a little extra zing on it. You haven't touched it. Was there something about the presentation? Did I forget the parsley?
It's not the parsley.
Don't tell me all that gruel that they send down here. Nasty stuff. No zip to it at all. You'd think they could at least give you some bread with it. Maybe a nice tossed salad. Some dressing on the side.
Hello, this isn't exactly a 5-star hotel.
Oh, that! Why didn't you say so? Here.
Lorenzo, the executioner, offers Tristan some of the chicken, feeding him a spoonful or fake forkful.
Not bad. Maybe ease off a bit on the spices. What is that? Basil?
And some oregano.
Interesting.
Killed the chicken myself, you know. Deboned it, too. I do hate to let all of these sharp implements go to waste.
I could have done without that image.
Oh, what do you care? There hasn't been an execution here, and, well, let's just say most people haven't seen one in their lifetimes.
I'm hoping I won't see one in my lifetime either.
Used to spend all my time practicing just in case. Whack! Whack! Worked myself through a whole flock just like that. Then I thought, why let them all go to waste?
So that's when you took up cooking.
Got me a nice feather pillow out of it, too. Say, you're good with words. What do you think I should call this?
Yeah, a little too good, apparently.
I was thinking chicken le donjon. Or maybe executioner's delight.
Definitely not the last one.
Ooh, or perhaps Lorenzo's surprise. Don't you like surprises? I like surprises. Like a little hot pepper in the bottom of the dish. That's always a surprise.
Sally, the serving wench, enters.
All right, fellas, break up the party. Here's your gruel. Don't complain about the small portions. It's all you're going to get for a while. I swear, has he put on weight?
Well, maybe a little around the waist.
Really? Are you sure? Maybe I could get out to exercise some, go for a nice run and
Well, I wouldn't worry about it. He'll be losing some around the neck here before long.
The neck?
So did you hear we lost another taste tester? Just like the others. Drop dead like that. They'd think it's a plot.
Excuse me?
In the old days, they didn't let the prisoners ask questions.
Prisoners? What prisoners? Oh, him? Heck, he's like part of the family.
What's this part about losing weight around the neck?
Well, it's probably not official yet, but I don't think they have a choice, if you ask me.
I think if I had a choice, I'd rather be keeping my neck, thank you.
The Lord Chamberlain has vowed to crack down on crime. He's going to send a message to whoever is trying to do in the Duke.
If they want to send a message, have they tried the post office?
So you better sharpen up your axe. You'll be needing it soon.
But I haven't tried to do it in the Duke. All I did was write a poem.
A very nice one, too. Except for that part where you rhymed puke and puke. I'm no literary critic, but that may have been what got you in trouble.
You think?
It's satire.
Yeah, well, it's also a crime. Better get to it. Chop, chop.
Would you mind another choice of words?
Sure. Here's the word for you. Returns. Try rhyming that.
Sally, the serving wench, exits.
Well, that's a bummer. But don't worry, I'll serve you the last meal you won't soon forget. Somehow that didn't come out right. Oh well, I hope you like chicken. Whack, whack, whackety whack.
Lorenzo, the executioner, practices his chopping swing. Scene 4, the Duke's throne room. The Duke is juggling while Geraldo tries to speak to him.
So I've ordered the night watch doubled.
Right, what's this? What's this?
And all the visitors to the palace must be accompanied by a guard at all time.
I've been working on this one.
But that still leaves open the possibility that we have a spy in our midst, a traitor, an assassin, an attempted assassin at least. Are you listening to me?
I'm sorry, you were saying something.
I said.
Now look, what you've made. Oh, now look what you've made me do.
Your Majesty, you don't seem to understand the gravity of the situation.
Well, of course I do. I throw the balls up, gravity pulls them down. It's quite simple, really.
I mean about the plot on your life.
Oh, that. Yeah, well, that is a problem. Why do you think they want to kill me? Didn't I double the number of festival days? Didn't I establish a ministry of feasts, celebrations, and minor spectacles? Didn't I declare juggling to be the official sport?
Yes, well, I don't think it's personal. It's just someone who wants to do harm to the office of the Duke rather than the Duke himself.
Well, it's quite simple then, isn't it? I just won't be the Duke anymore. That way they won't try to kill me. They can try and kill somebody else.
What? You can't just abdicate.
Why not? I never wanted to be Duke in the first place. But after what happened to that last Duke, God rest his soul, well, I guess I was the nearest surviving relative. Hey, you think I can do 4 balls? I've been working on 4 balls.
I really don't know, sir, but let's...
It did seem like a good idea at the time. You know, get dressed up, preside over festivals and feasts, live in the palace. I mean, what's not there to love? They asked me, could I juggle? And I said, sure. But, you know, how was I know they meant paperwork? Right, that's it. Gig's over. I'm out of here. It's been nice knowing you, Gerard. Actually, I take that back. I'm just saying it to humour you, and I do like humour.
It doesn't work that way. You can't just quit. You're Duke for life.
Yeah, and apparently someone wants to shorten it.
That's why I want to take some additional precautions.
Well, what kind of precautions?
Here, just sign these.
What's this?
And that one authorizes some authorizations.
Right, and these?
This one deauthorizes some authorizations. The one declares some declaration. This one proclaims some proclamations. That one decrees some decrees.
And this one?
No, and that one. Yeah, it's just a minor housekeeping measure.
I, the Duke, do hereby order the royal executioner to separate the following prisoners from their head. Oh, wait, that's a bit extreme, don't you think?
Well, I thought it would serve as, how shall I put it, a deterrent to other would-be felons.
There's just one name on this.
Yeah, there's only one prisoner in the dungeon, but he's taken up quite a bit of space. Think of it as an efficiency measure.
Yeah, I don't know.
And if it makes you feel any better, you could order a festival, perhaps a whole week of feasting, carnivals, spectacles.
Juggling?
The works. You could make the execution the highlight. You know, put sort of a exclamation mark on the week. I'm sure it would be quite popular.
Yeah, probably not with the prisoner, though.
True, but wouldn't worry about him. Think of the pomp. Think of the circumstance. Think of, well, all the other stuff you enjoy so much.
Oh, well, once you put it that way, where do I sign?
Yeah, right here.
Right, well, all this signing business has made me hungry. Right, what's for dinner?
Oh, that. Yes, well, I'm afraid that's out of the question at the moment.
Oh, how is dinner out of the question?
I'm afraid we don't have a taste tester. As your Lord Chamberlain, I can't allow you to eat until we find a new one.
Well, and when, pray tell, will that be?
Well, I'm not sure, sir. We haven't exactly been overrun by applicants.
Yeah, well, I'm afraid I'm getting rather hungry. Don't you think you should be looking a little harder?
I'm afraid it may take some time, sir. Even when we do find someone, we'll need to do interviews and background checks.
Sally,
and,
the serving wench, enters with Antoinette.
Pardon me, good sirs, but this one here says he'd like to be the new taste tester.
Right, you're hired.
But sir, the background checks. He could be, spy.
Are you a spy?
I serve no other power, sir.
Right, and how do you feel about anchovies?
Anchovies?
Yeah, I don't like the taste of them. I want to make sure that no one sneaks any anchovies into a dish,
I will die before the Duke is forced to submit to an anchovy.
Right, there. That sounds good to me. When do we eat?
Take him to the kitchen. If he's like the rest of them, he won't last long anyway.
Off you go, sir.
Robin, if we could talk about some more of the security arrangements I've made.
Geraldo and the Duke exit.
If the Duke is hungry as he is inattentive, I shall soon have my brother free from this tyrant's iron grip.
Antoinette and Sally exit. Scene 5, the marketplace. The characters enter from all directions to create a cacophony of sight and sound.
Let's see. I'm still a few items short.
I know I was supposed to meet her somewhere. I wonder where that was.
Fascinating. According to these calculations, the higher the temperature, the faster people will buy my day-old fish. And the more they're willing to pay. Thank you, global warming.
The herald enters.
Hear ye, new decrees from our noble Duke. Bend your ears, friends, and hear.
Shouldn't that be lend your ears? From Shakespeare, Julius Caesar, Mark Antony's famous funeral oration. Friends, Roland, lend me your ears.
The Duke? The Duke has returned? You mean he wasn't lost at sea after all? Oh, what a happy, glorious day.
Sorry, not the same Duke.
Oh.
You lend this Duke your ears, you may not get them back, if you catch my drift.
Well, you have a point there. Hamlet, Act 1, Scene 3. The advice Polonius gave to Laterus. Neither a borrower nor a lender be.
I was referring to... Oh, never mind what I was referring to. I don't want to wind up like that poor blighter down in the dungeon. No sense of humor this Duke has. Not like the old one.
You remember the old Duke?
Look, I'm just the herald, okay? You want to give me a break?
For a moment there, I thought something came back to me.
Sometimes I get things coming back to me too, but it's usually just indigestion.
Hey, the herald's trying to say something.
There, that's better. All right. Sorry, I get kind of nervous in front of crowds.
The herald speaks way too softly to be heard.
Okay. The Duke of Ilium has proclaimed the following proclamation.
What did he say? I couldn't hear a thing.
Usually just as well. Some say you're better off this way.
Deep breath. You want to use your diaphragm.
What?
You want to use your diaphragm.
What?
You want to use diaphragm. What? You want to use diaphragm.
What the? What's going on? We're waiting on Angelo, the chef.
My computer's frozen up here.
Oh,
What was the last cue?
Last cue, well, you had said you want to use your diaphragm. The Herald says what?
You want to speak from down here, not up here. It'll help you project. Actors do it all the time.
But I don't want to project.
You're the herald. You have to project.
Yeah, I know, but I don't like this whole hear ye thing.
How are we supposed to know what's going on if you don't do the hear ye?
Well, maybe I could just draw your picture instead. I like to draw.
Oh, that's interesting. And then you could charge people to look at it. You know, create a whole new revenue stream.
Here, let me see this thing.
Except when the government does that, it's called a tax. So forget that. Got enough of those.
Forget what? Does somebody else forget things too?
Huh. So how do you think I should play this? Comedy? Tragedy?
If it's a proclamation from the Duke, it's hard to tell, isn't it?
And what's my motivation?
Your motivation is to get on with it.
Some days I forget what my motivation is too. And then it comes to me. My motivation is to... Oh, darn, I forgot it again.
No. Oh, for a muse of fire. Henry V, I've always liked that one. I think it grabs people a bit more than the old hear ye, don't you?
But I think it had something to do with the Duke.
The Herald hands Joanna a painting.
What's this?
You said draw you a picture, so I did.
Oh.
What is it?
You got it upside down.
Oh, right. Oh, my.
What is it? Angelo. Don't you think that's rather disturbing? Why is his body over here and his head over there? And who is that man with the big axe?
It's an execution.
The Duke has ordered an execution?
And a festival.
That's not very cheery.
It is to me. Do you know what festivals mean? Ka-ching! I better go stock up now.
Joanna exits.
And I better get to work. The Duke will probably want a banquet to go with it. Say, do you know where I can find any scale of dragon?
Angela, the chef, exits.
Well, guess my work is done here. Back to the drawing board, so to speak.
The Herald exits.
There's something funny about this place, but I just can't put my finger on it.
Malvina looks around curiously. Antoinette enters, still dressed as a man.
Ah, there you are, Malvina. I've been looking all over for you.
Ah! It's the dread pirate Antonio!
Shh, not that Antonio. I am now Antonio the Taste Tester.
Taste tester? But why would a dread pirate want to be a taste tester?
To free my brother, remember?
Oh, right, him. I forgot.
I'll use my position to sneak into the dungeon. I'll free my brother from his chains, and then we'll give them all the slip. Or maybe I'll give them the steal. Yes, I'll fight my way past the guards to get to his holding place. Then I'll fight them all to get back out. Or maybe, just maybe, I'll come up behind the Duke like this.
By now, Antoinette is behind Malvina, holding a knife or sword to her throat.
And I'll say, Let him go or I'll cut you to ribbons, for I am not Antonio the taste tester. I am not even Antonio the pirate.
The dread pirate.
I am Antoinette, and I am a vengeful sister with a sword.
Works for me.
So go find us an inn, something quiet, out of the way. Make sure things are ready. We may need to leave at any moment, whether by a fast horse into the hills or a fast ship out the harbor. I can't say. There. You got that?
Got what?
Here. Let me write it down for you.
Antoinette writes a note and gives it to Malvina.
Well, everything except the getaway plan. I'll take care of that myself.
Get a room in an inn. I think I can remember that much.
Yes, but for how long? Now I best be going. I have taste to test.
Antoinette exits. Malvina looks around.
Now, what was I supposed to be doing?
She remembers the paper and reads it.
Oh, right. Well, that shouldn't be too hard. I wonder if they have a visitor's bureau or if I should just take my chances. It's so hard to tell these days. Maybe someday somebody will invent some franchises so we can have some brand names to go by. Now there's an idea. If only I could remember it long enough to do anything about it. Oh well, off I go. Now what was I looking for again?
Malvina drops the note on the ground accidentally and exits. As she exits from one direction, Sally the serving wench enters and spots the note on the ground. Sally disapproves of the litter.
I swear, people have no respect anymore for anything.
Sally picks up the paper and reads it.
What's this? A distinctive script? The closed G. The way you can't make out any of the words. I'd recognize this handwriting anywhere. This came from the hand of the old Duke himself. But how would a paper from the old Duke wind up in the middle of the market square? He has been gone nigh near 18 years now, bless his soul. This is a mystery indeed. I shall tell Horato. No, wait, Horato's a fool. I'll investigate it myself.
Sally exits. Scene 6, in the kitchen. Antoinette is there alone. She's dressed as a man with a hat, perhaps a chef's hat, to cover up her hair. She's looking around furtively, getting a feel for the place. She especially likes the knives. She studies them one by one, inspecting them.
Oh, that's nice. I'll have to remember this one.
Antoinette puts that knife back in its place and chooses another. She swishes it around like a sword.
Oi! Prepare to be boarded! No quarter given and none asked!
Angelo the chef enters with a bag of groceries from the market. He's talking to himself, reciting Shakespeare and perhaps whistling.
Double, double, toil and trouble.
Antoinette realizes he's coming and quickly puts the knife back and acts like nothing has happened.
Oh, hello there. Are you?
I'm Antonio, the new taste tester.
Ah, yes. Well, been nice knowing you.
What?
Well, they never last long. I don't know why. But the Lord Chamberlain thinks it's a plot, you know. Just like in Hamlet, poison and all that. Me? I just think it's bad luck.
I see. Well, let's get to it. Got any gruel for the prisoners that you need me to sample? I'd be happy to take it to the gentleman myself. Just give me the word and I'm here.
Ah, sorry. No gruel today.
No?
Prisoners only get fed once a week.
You're kidding me.
But I do have a nice soup I've been working on for some time. More of a stew, really. It's kind of chunky, actually.
The poor thing must be nothing but skin and bones.
I've never been able to get it quite right. Hard to find all the ingredients, you know. Say, do you know where I could find scale of dragon?
It's inhumane. It's uncivilized. It's...
And do you have any idea what they mean by Maw of Golf?
I'm sorry, by what? I'm sorry, by what?
Right here, it says, which is Mummy, Maw, and Golf. So is Maw and Golf part of the Mummy, or is it something separate? I've never been able. Got most of the rest of it right here. The fillet of fenny snake was pretty easy, and I caught the newt out back. I've also got the toe of frog, wool of bat, and tongue of dog. Let me tell you, that dog wasn't too happy to that part.
This is your recipe?
It doesn't really give quantities. I don't know whether to go for a Chihuahua or a Great Dane.
This isn't a cookbook. This is Shakespeare.
So, you want to try it?
This is the witch's brew from Macbeth.
Yeah, I know. Here's what I've got so far.
Angelo, the chef, offers a spoonful of soup to Antoinette.
No thanks.
I thought you were supposed to be the taste tester. You know, to make sure nobody was trying to poison the Duke. Somebody could have come in here while I was out and tried to sneak something into this. Hey, what's that?
What's what?
There, that, floating around on top.
I have no idea.
Oh, never mind. That's just the wool of bat. Silly me. I had a hard time finding that one, too. Darn things are hard to catch.
Fernando, the funeral director, enters with a tape measure.
Hello there. This won't take but a moment.
What are you doing?
Oh, just making a few measurements.
For what?
Just planning ahead. Damn it. I like to stay ahead of things, you know.
Fernando gets a little too close for comfort with his measuring.
Hey!
I do hate to get buried in my work, you know. Get it? Buried?
Oh, I get it.
Hey, you look familiar. You wouldn't happen to have a sister now, would you?
No. Why did you ask?
You look just like someone I ran into down in the market. She was kind of hot, too, if you know what I mean.
Hey, watch it, Buster.
I'll need a hat off.
The hat stays on.
Very well, then. That'll add a few inches to the length. I bet they wind up taking your hat off.
Over my dead body.
Oh, yes, that would be the point. Oh, I get it. That's a joke. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Can I write it? I will try to write down all the good ones. Say, did you hear the one about the priest, the minister, and the rabbi? Darn, that's my favorite one, too. Well, that ought to do it. I'll cite her. Most likely after, well, you know. But don't worry, we'll make you look real good. Well, probably not as good as the lady in the market, but I'm sure you won't have any complaints. Check you on the flip side. Get it?
Fernando exits. Antoinette stares in disbelief as he exits.
He's such a kidder. Well, not that much of a kidder. Anyway, sure you don't want to try some soup?
Later. Let me, maybe I should wash up first.
Well, if you want to. Seems like kind of a waste of time to me. I just used the soup.
Angelo, the chef, dips his hands in the soup, then dries them off on his dirty apron. Sally, the serving wench, enters. With her, either in her hand or her pocket, she has the piece of paper Malvina dropped in the street. Sally notices Antoinette and seems surprised.
Oh, you're still here?
Where should I be?
Oh, I just saw Fernando in the hallway and I figured, you know, oh well. Anyway, the Lord Chamberlain wants to know what will be on the menu for the banquet.
Oh, you mean the banquet for the execution feast? I was thinking soup.
Soup? Soup? You're always thinking soup. Can't you fix something besides soup?
Well, not really. It is my specialty.
Excuse me, did you say the execution feast?
I swear, you're as bad as the prisoner about butting in. Yes, the execution feast. You can't have a proper execution without a feast. Now, can you?
May I ask who's being executed?
You may, but I may not answer. But if you use your head, you'll figure it out. After all, we only have one prisoner.
Guess it's one execution per prisoner, eh?
Well, I'll tell him soup, but don't expect him to be happy about it. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a mystery to solve.
Excuse me, what's that you're reading?
Nothing, or maybe something. Here, do you recognize this?
Yes, no! Where did you get this?
It's nothing but chicken scratch to me. I found it in the market square. Can you make it out?
Malvina, you careless fool!
What did you say?
I said, it looks like something I had to study in school. That's all.
The cursive style? Very formal. It's clear a man of letters wrote this. Perhaps a man in a hurry.
Man, indeed.
I have a theory.
You do?
Oh, yes. I shouldn't tell anyone. Well, I suppose I could tell you. You wouldn't be here. You won't be here much longer, I suspect. But I think it's pirates.
Pirates?
Shh. We don't want to alarm people. You know how nervous people get around pirates.
Don't I know it?
This clearly came from the hand of the old Duke himself. Only he wrote his G's that way. That is a G, isn't it?
It could be.
You see, everyone thinks the old Duke perished in a storm, but I think he was overtaken by pirates.
Really?
Oh, yes. Overtaken, seized, robbed, murdered even. And now I think they're here among us. Do you sense danger in the air?
I thought it was just the aroma of the soup.
I think they're planning an attack. I think they sent in the advanced party, someone in disguise, someone who dropped this accidentally.
Oh, I agree with you there. It was definitely dropped by accident.
I bet they plan to strike when least expected. That's what pirates do, you know.
So I've heard.
You know what else I think?
What's that?
I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if it wasn't the dread pirate Antonio himself. You've heard the dread pirate Antonio, haven't you?
I believe I've heard the name in passing.
I just need a little more evidence, and then I can present my case directly to the Duke himself. Well, I must be going. Let me tell you, getting ready for an execution feast is no picnic.
Sally, the serving wench, exits.
Well, you know what they say.
No. What do they say?
If it were done, when it is done, then it were done quickly. Macbeth, Act 1, Scene 5.
The execution?
Well, maybe that too, but I was thinking the soup.
Angelo, the chef, exits. Antoinette speaks to the audience. She waves around one of the kitchen knives, putting special emphasis on the word nick.
Just in the nick of time. There will be an execution, that is for sure. For I intend to execute my plan before they can execute theirs. My brother lies chained somewhere in this grand facade, not only shackled, but now starved. The late hour is late, but the day is young. I shall puzzle out his cell and spirit him away before the cock can crow. They want a taste tester? Then I shall give them a taste of their own medicine. And the serving wench is right about one thing at least. The dread pirate Antonio is about to strike.
Antoinette stuffs the knife in her clothing somewhere and exits, in the opposite direction from where the chef went. Scene 7, the Duke's throne room. Geraldo is trying to get the Duke's attention. Geraldo has the Duke's afternoon schedule.
Now, You'll see from the schedule, the ambassador from Padua is here to present his credentials. Then the minister from Verona would like to discuss a new trade agreement. After that, there's a delegation of merchants who seek an audience with you about a problem we're having in the market. Something about the sale of smelly fish. Personally, I don't understand it myself. I thought all fish smelled. But they feel strongly about it, so...
Right, may I see that?
Certainly.
Geraldo hands the Duke the piece of paper. The Duke balls it up and shoots a basket with it.
Your Highness!
I'm sorry, but I have more important things to deal with than smelly fish.
And what would that be, sir?
I have a festival to plan.
A festival?
But of course, you promised me a festival to go with the execution. Now somebody's got to plan it.
The Duke claps his hand, and the court poet, the court jester, and the sommelier enter. The sommelier enters with several bottles of wine, either by hand or on a cart or some other device.
I swear, sometimes I think I have to do everything myself.
But sir...
Poet! Right, which one of you is the court poet?
I guess that would be me, sire, but I think you should know that...
I need a poem.
Yes, sire, I'm sure you could find a very nice one in a book.
A new poem. Not some tired old thing from a book. Something new, and something just for the occasion. Do you think you can do that?
Well, the problem, sire, is that I really don't know how to...
Something that captures the spirit of the moment. You know, something uplifting, something that rhymes. I want none of that free verse.
Well, you see, that's the problem. I don't know how to rhyme.
What? Oh, very well then. Free verse it is.
But I can't even do that.
Right, next. Jester.
But I'm quite good with...
Jester, where's my jester?
I think he means you.
Court jester steps forward and speaks with a funeral voice.
Yes, Your Grace.
Ah, there you are. Right. We need a jest. What do you suggest? Get it? Jester, suggest.
Very humorous.
Yeah, I thought so. So, all right, what do you think? A stand-up routine? Juggling? I'm very fond of juggling. Just nothing with mimes. I've never liked mimes. Mimes is like scary.
I was thinking the funeral oration from Pericles.
What? Well, that doesn't sound very funny.
Does it have to be, as you say, funny?
Well, I think it's a law, isn't it? I mean, jesters should jest. Isn't that a law around, no, mate?
If it's not, you can make it one.
Right, then it is the law.
And the penalty, sire?
Oh, I hadn't thought of that.
I'd suggest death. Teach them a lesson they'll never forget.
I think it would be difficult for the offender to forget.
Oh, that's a good one. That is a good one.
I was being serious, sire.
So was I.
All right, moving along. Right, who's next?
I am, Your Highness, but...
Yeah, the royal wine steward. Yes, you are my personal sommelier. A festival demands wine, and so do I. So, what wine would you suggest for an execution?
I really wouldn't know, sir.
Oh, a red wine, wouldn't you think? You know, like... Well, never mind.
I get it.
Oh, glare at Geraldo.
Sorry.
Right, yeah, so right, what will it be, eh? Champagne, Zinfandel, Burgundy, something rich and full with a slightly nutty aftertaste.
I don't drink, sir.
You what?
I don't drink.
Well, of course you don't. It's my private stock. Well, I can't have help pilfering the goods now, can we?
No, I mean, I don't drink, period.
Not even water?
Lips that touch liquor shall never touch mine.
Oh, that's another good one. Hey, you better watch out, Jester. This sommelier here might just give you a run for your money.
That would be quite fine, Your Highness. Then I wouldn't have to wear this.
Jester refers to the Harlequin hat.
Oh, I love that deadpan humour. Yeah, but you may want to try and work in a little slapstick for the banquet. People do love physical comedy, you know. Right, but enough of that. So, back to the wine. I like something with a nice bouquet.
Oh, flowers are always nice.
What? No, not that kind of bouquet.
And if you don't have a vase handy, you could always use an empty wine bottle. That's really all I know about wine.
Okay, that's not so funny. Maybe you ought to leave the humor to the jester here.
Sir, at the risk of seeming unpatriotic, it seems to me that none of us are particularly qualified.
Silence! The Duke has spoken.
Yes, I did, didn't I?
Off you go. To work, to work. Chew, scream, all of you.
Geraldo shoos the court poet, the court jester, and the sommelier to the exit. They exit. The sommelier leaves the wine behind.
Oh dear, she's left the wine behind. However will I decide now?
I'm sure they're all quite appropriate, Your Highness. I really don't think it's,
Oh, wait, what about that taste tester I hired?
What about him?
We'll let him taste and test.
Sir, the taste tester is really just there to make sure no one tries to poison Your Majesty.
Bring the royal taste tester!
2 guards re-enter with Antoinette.
You called, sire?
Jesus, that was quick.
I just happened to be outside.
Caught him sneaking around in the hallway.
And we found this.
It's a kitchen knife for chopping potatoes. Lots of potatoes.
Yeah, very curious. Why weren't you in the kitchen?
I was on my way there,
The kitchen is on the other side of the castle.
which is why I was on my way there.
Going the wrong way.
Hey, you know that this looks just like the one on the mantle over there?
I should still pat him down.
Geraldo attempts to pat down Antoinette for weapons.
Hey, get your hands off of me.
Geraldo finds a knife in Antoinette's pocket.
And what's this?
It's a toothpick, see?
Antoinette demonstrates.
Hazards of the trade.
Right, makes sense to me. Some of this meat that comes up from the kitchen is pretty tough and stringy.
I don't know. Still seems kind of fishy to me.
Oh, don't talk to me about fish. Right, now, wine. Do you know anything about wine?
I'm more familiar with rum. Why ask?
Well, I need I need you to pick a nice wine for the execution feast, right? So why don't you tell me what you think?
Well, I think it's a really big mistake, a misunderstanding, a miscarriage of justice.
He meant the wine, you fool.
The Duke hands Antoinette a wine bottle.
Right, here you go.
What's this?
It's a Merlot, I believe.
Oh, thanks, but no thanks.
You're the taste tester.
Well, you're going to get on with it or what?
Right. Okay, well, is there a glass?
Duke indicates there isn't a glass.
Sorry.
Whatever.
Antoinette takes a swig from the bottle.
Right, so what do you think?
It's rather
The Duke hands Antoinette a second bottle.
Right, now before you make up your mind though, why don't you try this one too?
Oh, but I couldn't.
Geraldo whacks Antoinette on the head.
Okay, I could.
Antoinette takes a swig from the second bottle. Her eyes pop open.
Oh, that one's rather...
Wait, and here's the third one.
Antoinette eyes Geraldo and, fearful of being whacked again, takes a drink from the third bottle.
Don't you need to cleanse your palate first?
Right.
Antoinette drinks for the first bottle.
Oh, what do you think?
Antoinette drinks from the third bottle again.
I think...
Yes?
I think I'm gonna be sick.
Antoinette passes out.
Right, well that's it, settled. I'll have that one.
Duke and Geraldo exit. The 2 guards drag off Antoinette. When the stage is empty, the sommelier enters furtively, perhaps with some flowers in hand. The sommelier spies the wine bottles, picks them up, tests them to make sure they're empty. Pleased to see that they are, the sommelier puts the flowers in the bottles and then exits with a happy flourish, perhaps whistling. That's the end of Act 1. Act 2, Scene 1, the marketplace. Joanna sits with a basket of fish and 2 empty baskets. She pulls up a fish, smells it. It's not ripe enough.
Nah.
She tosses it in one of the empty baskets, pulls out another fish and smells it. Still not ripe.
Nah.
She tosses it in the basket with the other fish and now pulls out a third fish, who smells it. Oh, it's... She recoils in disgust.
You! Definitely a keeper.
She tosses the stinky fish into the third basket. While Joanna reaches for the next fish, Celestia the soothsayer enters and sets up a table. The soothsayer sets a bowling ball in it as a substitute for a crystal ball, and then puts up a sign that says, Seuss said, 2 for 1 discount.
Nice ball.
Thanks.
Except I thought they were supposed to be crystal.
Wouldn't it be awfully breakable?
Well, you know, to peer into the future and all that.
Oh, that. I can't really peer into the future. That's just make-believe.
Aren't you a fortune teller?
Fortune teller, oracle, soothsayer, any of those work. I'm rather partial to the one myself. Don't have a clue what a sooth is, but I like the sound of it. Sounds very spooky.
I see. And for your sooths, you just
make them up.
You make up people's fortunes?
It's a living.
Fascinating. No overhead, no expenses.
This bowling ball cost a pretty penny.
Okay, some startup costs, but no recurring expenses, no personnel costs, no smelly fish. Think of the profit margin.
Ah, there's another good one. Profit. Am I doing something?
Isn't that rather deceitful? You know, making things up like that.
Nah, it's like horoscopes. Only a fool would believe that kind of nonsense anyway.
True, true.
Geraldo enters pompously and dramatically. He looks around and spies the soothsayer.
Ah, just what I need. The soothsayer. Say, do you do horoscopes as well?
Well, time to go to work.
So here's what I really need to know. I need to find out who's trying to kill the Duke. Can you peer into your crystal ball there and tell me who it is?
Oh. The great Celestius knows all and sees all.
Hear ye, hear ye.
Nobody pays attention to the herald. Malvina enters, talking to herself as she looks for Antoinette.
She must be around here somewhere. Now, where could she have gotten to?
I said, hear ye, hear ye.
Excuse me, I'm looking for someone. I was wondering if you could...
Joanna, who doesn't see Malvina, starts selling her fish. Malvina continues to wander the stage, trying to get someone's attention.
Day old fish! Get your day old fish right here. Stinky, putrefied, the day old fish.
Angela, the chef, enters and gets excited by what he hears.
You're muted.
Gary, unmute.
Shall we just go ahead? Day old fish, day old fish. Do I need any day old fish?
Is anybody paying any attention to anything I say?
Angelo the chef consults his Shakespeare book.
Let's see. Fenny snake, eye of newt, toe of frog. Got all that covered. Wool of bat, tongue of dog. Heck. Adder's fork and blind, wing sting. Okay, I know I've got some kind of worm close enough for government work, but fish. No day-old fish. Wait, here it is. Scale of dragon, tooth of wolf, witch's mummy, maw and gulf of the raven, salt sea shark, root of hemlock digged in the dark. Ah, so maw and gulf refers to the sea salt shark. I still have no idea what that means.
It means the stomach and gullet.
Oh.
I have learned a few things being around fish all these years, you know.
That's kind of nasty.
Yeah, well, I'd watch the hemlock if I were you. That stuff's poisonous, you know.
Really? Nah, can't be. I use it in all my recipes. See, it says so right here. Root of hemlock.
Malvina approaches the herald.
Excuse me, I was wondering if you might help me.
Yeah!
Geraldo, Celestia, Angelo the chef, Joanna, and Malvina stop and turn to the herald.
Why is everyone looking at me?
Is that a no?
Well, go on. Speak up.
But I don't want to speak up.
Oh, not again.
Couldn't I just paint you a picture instead?
Well, it depends. How long is that proclamation you've got there?
I don't know. I haven't counted. Why?
Well, you know what they say. A picture's worth 1,000 words. I'm not sure how they arrived at that exchange rate, but that's what they say. Personally, I think the right picture would fetch a lot more at a good auction house, but hey, what do I know? I'm just a fishmonger. Fish, get your day-old fish. Stinking, rotten, odoriferous fish, right here.
The herald starts drawing a picture and continues to work on it, oblivious to anything else happening on the stage, until the end of the scene. Geraldo and Celestia return to their consultation. Malvina approaches the chef.
You haven't seen my master, have you? I'm looking for my master. He's about this tall, unless he's a she today. In which case, I suppose she'd still be this tall. Hard to disguise that, you know. She's very good at disguises, my master is. Oh, should I have said that? I forgot.
Oh, you poor old woman. Men dressed up as women, women dressed up as men. Where do you think you are, in the middle of a Shakespeare play? That's quite a common device of his, actually. A Twelfth Night, Two Gentlemen of Verona, As You Like It, Merchant of Venice, Merry Wives of Windsor.
Suddenly, Geraldo shouts. He is shocked by Celestia's prophecy.
I don't believe it.
Nancy?
I will now unmute. Believe it. Your fate, good sir, is written in the stars.
But that...
Do you doubt the great Celestia? Mark my words. If you do not heed my advice, tonight the great dragon of the east shall eat the moon. That shall be the sign your doom.
That's outrageous. You're nothing but a complete charlatan. You mark my words, I shall have you thrown into the dungeon. See if you can cast your horoscopes from there.
Geraldo exits angrily.
What did you tell him?
Oh, just some hokum about if he didn't call off the execution, heads would roll and one of them might be his.
Why in the world would you tell him something like that? Don't you know an execution is good for business?
I don't know. It just sort of came to me. Maybe it was a vision.
Yeah. Well, you're kind of going out on a limb, though, with that part about the dragon of the east eating the moon, aren't you? He'll know you're just messing with his mind when that doesn't happen.
Oh, that part I didn't make up. There really is an eclipse tonight.
Oh, yeah? How did you know that?
Oh, I got it all figured out right here.
Bowling for dummies?
Oh. Sorry, came with the ball. Here, try this one.
The Great Celestia's Book of Secrets revealed.
Kind of has a nice ring to it, doesn't it? Eclipses, occultations, meteor showers. I've been keeping track for years. It's kind of a hobby of mine. People are always getting astrology and astronomy mixed up anyway, so I figured this way I got it covered either way.
Pardon me, but I seem to have misplaced my master. Perhaps you could peer into your crystal. Oh. Guess not. Sorry. Now, where could she have gotten to?
Sally, the serving wench, enters, upset to find the chef away from his post.
Angelo, what are you doing here?
I was looking for ingredients for my soup. Do you know where I can find a yew tree? Specifically, slips of yew slivered in the moon's eclipse. I can find lots of yew trees, but nobody seems to know when there's going to be another eclipse.
Oh, I can help with that.
Look, forget the soup. We need fish.
No, actually, I've checked. The recipe doesn't call for any fish, unless you count the sea salt shark.
Forget the recipe. It's Friday. We need fish. It's a tradition.
But
no buts. I'll get the fish. You get back to the kitchen. The Duke is expecting 300 people at the banquet tonight.
300? I'll need more Eye of Newt and Toa Frog then.
Sally pushes Angelo off stage. He exits.
Chefs are temperamental, just like actors sometimes.
How much fish you need?
How much you got?
Let's see. 1 basket of the fresh fish, 1 basket of day old fish, and phew, you don't even want to know about that other basket.
How much?
8 crowns for the lot of it.
All I have is 10.
Works for me.
I need change.
No.
Joanna realizes Sally expects some change. She hands it over.
If you insist.
Government work, you know.
Sally spots something unusual about the change.
Whoa, what's the matter?
These 2 crowns. These 2 bear the likeness of the old Duke. That means they were minted a long time ago.
Oh, drat. Collector's items. If I'd only known.
Where'd you get these?
Why?
I said, where'd you get these? These coins haven't been in circulation for nearly 2 decades.
I got them yesterday from a customer.
Which customer? Do you remember what they look like? I need to know. The fate of the dukedom may rest upon it.
From that old woman over there.
Her?
Yes. Why?
Arrest that woman. She's in league with the pirates.
A great commotion ensues, and Guard 1 and Guard 2 enter, seize Malvina, and drag her off stage.
What? What's going? Why me? What have I done? Who am I? Where am I?
Malvina exits forcibly.
And you're a witness. You're coming with me.
What about my fish?
You can bring those too. Well, not the stinky ones.
Sally and Joanna exit. Guard 1 and Guard 2 re-enter and seize Celestia.
You too, buddy.
What have I done?
We can do this the easy way or the hard way. Ah, what the heck. Let's just do it the hard way.
The guards drag Celestia off stage.
The heavens will open up and rain down fire upon you. The stars will fall from the sky. If you don't let me go, the dragons from the east will appear tonight and eat the moon.
Celestia exits forcibly. Only the herald is left on stage. The herald finally looks up from his drawing.
Oh, crap.
With Harold?
I've lost place.
Bottom of page 49.
What? Doesn't anybody want to see my picture?
The herald exits. Scene 2, somewhere in the castle. Antoinette is stretched out on a bed or lounge as if dead. Fernando is there, whistling and measuring her. He might even sing a happy working song. The court jester, in a harlequin's hat, sits somberly in the room.
Do you?
Fernando whistles even louder.
Oh, whistle while you work, whistle while you work.
Yes.
Sommelier enters with flower arrangements in wine bottles.
Here, I thought you might be able to use these.
Oh, thank you. Oh dear.
Fernando realizes the implication with the wine bottles.
Do you think these might be inappropriate? You know, under the circumstances. Oh, what the heck. If you can't laugh at death, what can you laugh at?
Nothing.
Oh, there's always something to laugh at. Say, did you hear about the one about the priest, the rabbi, and the minister? Okay, here's how it goes. What? Oh, come on now. This is a good
Antoinette
one.
groans louder.
Excuse me, but
I don't believe this.
So, you see, there was this rabbi, this priest.
Even louder.
Well, I think somebody had too much to drink.
Oh, no. There's no drinking. The thing about this bar is just a way to tell the joke, see?
No, not the rabbi, the priest, and the minister. Him.
Fernando turns just in time to see Antoinette get up.
Oh, my head is killing me. What are you doing here?
Fernando quickly hides his tape measure.
Nothing at all.
But we thought you were, you know.
You thought I was what?
In need of a rabbi, a priest, and a minister.
The sommelier hands over a wine bottle with a daisy in it.
Pushing up daisies.
In a word, dead.
What? Oh, no, hardly. Just dead to the world, maybe after I...
Antoinette stands up woozily. She holds her head.
Oh, does anybody have any coffee?
Oh, I only drink water.
Sommelier puts her arms around Antoinette.
Looks like you had a good bender there. How about a little hair of the dog that bit you, huh? I'm sure the chef could fix you right up. He's always going on about how he needs the wool of the bat, tongue of dog. I'm sure he's got a little hair of dog down there, too, if you know what I mean.
Oh, I think I'll pass. What time is it?
Oh, no, but we thought for sure you were late. Get it? Late? You know, the late taste tester?
I think I'm going to be sick all over again.
From the wine?
No, from your bad jokes.
It's about noon.
Noon? What day is it?
We thought it was your judgment day.
What are you anyway?
I'm the jester. Can't you tell?
You're not exactly cheering me up.
Oh, I wasn't trying to. I'm much better at depressing people. They just make me wear this hat.
Well, I guess our work here is done. Go on, pack everything up. On to the next job.
Next job?
Oh, yes. There's execution today. In just a few hours, in fact.
A few hours? Oh, no. I've got to hurry. Wait, where are my...
No time to stop and smell the roses?
Forget the roses. I'll take this.
Antoinette pulls the rose out of the bottle and takes the bottle and exits. You may want Antoinette on the way out to break the bottle so she can use the jagged top as a weapon. Or if you can't figure out a way to do that, she can exit with the bottle the way it is and enter the scene later with the bottle already broken.
And here I thought for sure he'd go for the hair of the dog. I like your hat.
You want it?
Sure, thanks.
Nice suit. I like the dark color. Very somber.
Fernando takes Jester's hat, and Fernando, Jester, and some other exit. Scene 3, the dungeon. Tristan is chained to the wall. On a table sits a tomato. Lorenzo, the executioner, wields his axe, practicing. He raises the axe once, twice, 3 times, and then finally whacks the vegetable.
Is that really necessary?
It is if you want Lorenzo's tomato surprise.
Lorenzo puts another tomato or potato on the table and gets ready to whack it.
And a 1, and a 2, and a 3.
Lorenzo whacks the second tomato. Court poet enters.
Excuse me, am I interrupting anything?
Ah, Lucia, welcome!
I don't want you to cut anything short on my account.
Not exactly the best choice of words.
What? Oh, right. That's why I'm here, actually.
It's not time, is it?
Oh, not for that. Well, almost. Actually, I'm here to ask you a favor.
Me?
You see, the Duke wants me to compose a poem, in honor of your execution. And, well, seeing as how I'm not really so good with words, I thought that I might, see if you could help me out with the best choice of words.
You want me to write a poem?
Uh-huh.
About my own execution?
Yeah.
When I'm being executed for writing a poem in the first place?
Well, yeah, pretty much, yes.
Oh, irony of ironies. Oh, cruel fate, how bitterness thou art.
Oh, wait, let me get that down. That's good. That's really good.
What?
What you just said, the first line.
It wasn't a first line. It was just, well, I guess it could be a first line.
Yeah. Irony of ironies. Is there a period after that or an exclamation mark? Oh, cruel fate, how bittersweet thou art. Okay, go ahead. What comes next?
Let me think about that. Okay, I've got it. Here goes.
Okay, go slow now so I can get it all.
2 guards enter, bringing with them Malvina and Celestia. The guards chain the prisoner to the wall. While that's happening, the court poet and Tristan confer at one side of the stage. Lorenzo continues his cooking.
Here you go. 2 more for you.
More mouths to feed? Oh, I'm going to need more tomatoes then.
Lorenzo prepares another tomato. Whether he whacks it or merely prepares to is up to you.
They say this one is some kind of con artist.
I warn you, if you don't let me go, the dragon will eat the moon tonight.
Yeah. Tell it to the judge. Wait, I forgot. There is no judge. Sorry.
And this one is some kind of pirate, they say.
A pirate? Ooh, we don't get many of those around here. You don't look much like a pirate.
Actually, I'm just a simple servant. It's my master who is the...
Master is what?
I forgot.
A likely story.
No, really, it's true. I'm very forgetful.
They're all yours.
Guards exit.
Thank goodness I remembered to forget. Hey, wait, I remembered something.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you. You have no idea what this means to me.
And you have no idea what it means to me.
It even rhymes and everything.
If you need an epic, I could write an epic for you.
Oh, no thanks. An ode will do just fine.
Of course, an epic might take longer. I might need, an extension, if you know what I mean.
Oh, that's okay. I don't think they have time for an epic.
Apparently, neither do I.
Lorenzo, thank you. Anytime you need a favor, you know, a new cutting knife or anything, I've been fooling around with some titanium alloys, some remarkable properties.
Thanks. I'll let you know.
Have a good day.
I guess I better. It's the only one I've got left.
Court poet exits.
Well then. Everybody comfy? Oh, I'm forgetting my manners. Here, have a canapé. They have smoked salmon.
I'm glad to say I'm not the only one around here who's forgetful.
You wouldn't believe how easy it is to get good salmon these days. You just need to buy it fresh. After that, the price goes up. It's the craziest thing. And oh, these are cheese with olives and red peppers.
Oh, I recognize that voice.
Yeah, you should. You've only heard it for how long has it been since you came here?
And not yours, hers.
Hers?
I am the great Celestia. I know all and see all. Well, I didn't see this coming, but I do see a lot of other things.
No, hers.
You mean the pirate?
I am not a pirate. I am but a humble servant.
Malvina?
Tristan?
What are you doing here?
Well, I don't know. I forgot. But I think it had something to do with you, actually.
It's you. It's really you. But Antoinette, where is Antoinette?
I don't know.
Antoinette.
How could you forget where Antoinette is?
Oh, I didn't forget that. I just don't know. She went off to, oh, I'd better not say.
Say what?
Say no more. It's all clear to me now.
Good, because you might want to explain it to me. I'm thoroughly confused.
My sister, my glorious sister, has come to rescue me.
Oh, that's just great. Now I'm going to need to eat more tomatoes.
Lorenzo slices a tomato.
Ah!
Scene 4, a passageway in the castle. Antoinette sneaks down the corridor, a broken bottle in hand as her only weapon.
Oh, here comes somebody.
She hears someone coming and lies in wait. The 2 guards enter.
I thought it had some interesting themes, but Act 1 was a little long for my taste. Too much exposition, not enough action.
We didn't have many lines either.
Well, I think we're more utilitarian characters anyway.
Is that we don't have names? Just guard 1 and guard 2?
Yeah, either that or the playwright was running out of ideas.
Well, I kind of like that scene where we had to drag out what's her name. Hey!
Antoinette lets the guards pass her, then she jumps out and grabs the second one and holds the broken bottle to his neck.
Okay, don't anybody move or I'll carve your friend here like a pumpkin.
A pumpkin? Pumpkins don't grow in Renaissance Italy. See, I told you the playwright was running out of ideas. How about carved like a turkey? That might feel more European if that's the effect you're trying to achieve. Though it might be more English than Italian.
Antoinette presses the broken bottle more tightly against the neck of guard 2.
Now might be a good time to skip over the literary critique if you don't mind.
Let me just take this.
Antoinette takes the sword from guard 2 and uses that instead of the broken bottle. It would be useful if there was a trash can nearby where Antoinette could conveniently toss the broken bottle.
Guess I won't be needing this anymore.
That other one is for recycling.
Antoinette jabs guard 2.
On the other hand, maybe it doesn't really matter all that much.
And the keys. Who's got the keys to the dungeon?
He does.
Okay,
He
hand
does.
him over. Or your friend here gets it.
Well, I wouldn't say friend, actually. More like a co-worker or colleague, associate.
Antoinette jabs guard 2.
You might want to do what he says.
But he's just the taste tester. He won't be around much longer anyway. I'd just wait him out if I were you.
Yeah, but you're not me.
I'm not just the taste tester. I'm the dread pirate Antonio.
What? Well, that's certainly an interesting plot twist. Wait, did you say the dread pirate, Antonio?
I did indeed. The keys, good sir, before I turn this knave's head into a jack-o'-lantern.
Well, there she goes again with another historically incorrect analogy. Isn't there a dramaturg in the house somewhere?
Court poet enters, whistling happy tune.
Who's that?
Hello, good sirs.
Hello.
Who?
Antoinette, distracted by the court poet, relaxes her grip on guard 2.
Run for it!
Guard 2 breaks free and both guards flee, exiting the stage.
What the?
Am I interrupting something?
Not anymore.
Oh, that's a very nice sword.
Thank you. Just something I picked up along the way.
Carbon steel blade, I believe, and a very sharp too.
How do you know that?
Because I can feel it against my neck, maybe.
Very good. And if you want me to keep that neck, perhaps you can tell me which way the dungeon is?
It's that way.
Court poet correctly indicates the direction he was coming from.
Excellent.
You do realize it's locked, don't you?
And I don't have the keys.
Antoinette jabs the court poet with the sword again.
But I have you, and you're going to help me.
How?
I don't know. Trickery, deceit, sleight of hand, either that or brute force and ignorance. What's your preference?
Personally, I'd recommend hydrochloric acid.
What?
The locks are made of zinc compounds. Any kind of acid will dissolve them in no time, and then presto.
Oh?
Heck, you wouldn't even need to come back this long way. You could just blast out a hole in the side of the dungeon and be on your merry way. And it looks like you're on your merry way to somewhere.
Who are you, anyway?
I'm the court poet.
You sure you're not the alchemist?
Quite sure. It's all a fraud, you know.
What's a fraud?
Alchemy. The attempt to turn base metals into gold, but nobody believes me. You see, I've been doing some research.
Antoinette jabs the poet with a sword.
Yeah, we'll do some walking.
Yes, sir. Right away, sir. Right this way, sir. You see, I believe each element has certain properties. Ow!
Antoinette and court poet exit. Scene 5. The Duke is having his portrait painted by an artist who can't paint. The Duke is posing.
My good side now. Do make sure you get my good side.
And which one would that be?
How dare you ask the Duke such an impertinent question? Do I need to have you thrown into the dungeon?
Sorry.
And hurry up with it, too. The Duke is a busy man.
Well, actually, I have all day.
Let me see this.
Geraldo goes to look at the portrait.
Oh, that's awful.
I'm sorry, sir.
You call this a portrait?
Geraldo takes the painting and shows it to the Duke in a way that the audience can see. It's a stick figure.
I'm doing the best I can.
This is your best? What kind of artist are you anyway? Con artist?
Hey, that's funny. Isn't that funny? A con artist. Okay, maybe not so funny. Let me see.
Duke looks at the painting.
Oh, that's different. How did you get to be the official portrait artist anyway?
Well, they asked me if I knew anything about art. They didn't ask me if I could actually draw, but I'm quite good at identifying and authenticating antiquities. For instance, that vase right there, that's most likely from the latter years of the Ming Dynasty. You can tell by the distinctive curvature.
Duke picks up the vase.
Hey, what do you know? She's right. It says made in China.
That's interesting because I happen to be able to draw something too.
Really? I never knew that.
I can draw conclusions.
Oh, there's a word for that. It's right on the tip of my tongue. Metaphorical. Yeah, that's it. You're being metaphorical. I never much liked metaphors very much. They always made my head hurt. Or maybe that was the juggling balls when they fell on my head.
Get out.
Yes, sir.
Now.
Right away, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sally enters excitedly. She pulls Joanna along with her.
Pirates. We're being attacked by pirates.
Where?
Pirates? Are you sure?
You know, if there are pirates out there, perhaps I should stay in here.
It's all clear to me now. The letter in the market square in the old Duke's handwriting, the old coins from the Duke's reign. He wasn't lost at sea after all. He was seized by pirates, murdered horribly, probably forced to walk the plank, gone to live with the fishes.
What kind of fishes, I wonder?
I even have a witness. She's right here.
Me? I'm just a fishmonger. I don't know anything about any stinking pirates. Stinking fish. I'm all over that.
But you're here. I know. They're here.
Who's here?
The pirates. Most likely dread pirate Antonio himself.
Oh, don't be ridiculous, woman. There's no such thing as pirates in Illyrium. They were miles inland, for one thing. Oh, don't let this babbling fool trouble you, your highness.
But, sir, this letter. Here, take a look. And these coins. Where do you think they came from?
They could have come from anywhere.
Old coins? May I see?
Didn't I tell you to leave?
She's right. These coins do date from the late Duke's reign. But, this is interesting.
What is it?
Hey, how come the old Duke looks better on money than I do?
Fascinating.
What? Tell me.
Can you all just leave?
What about me?
Yeah, you can stay. It's the rest of them I want out.
Oh.
Do you see the small mark there on the edge? That's the royal insignia.
It's so tiny. What's it mean?
It means you're all wasting the Duke's time. Now, if you'd please just leave.
It means the coin was minted for the Duke's personal fortune.
So you mean... Yes, it's true. The pirates had to steal it from the Duke himself.
Well, I don't know about pirates, but certainly at one time, this coin belonged to none other than the old Duke. At least until he spent it, or...
And now it belongs to the current Duke. So there.
And look, this letter I found. Doesn't that look like the old Duke's handwriting?
It does bear a strong resemblance.
See? I told you.
There is definitely something fishy going on here.
But it's quite obviously a forgery.
A forgery? But how? How can you tell?
The paper it's written on, quite recent. You can tell by the way the fibers overlap.
Oh.
The only way this could be real would be if the old Duke were still alive, and we all know that's not so.
Exactly.
But I really thought...
Yes, that was your first mistake. Thinking. Now, if you'd all jury hurry along and...
Geraldo hurries Sally, the artist, and Joanna toward the exit, but doesn't quite get them there yet.
Oh, what's this? Do you know this is pretty bad, don't you?
Everybody's a critic.
If you could all just leave. Oh, P.U. What smells so bad here?
Joanna pulls a dead fish out of the pocket of her apron.
Oh, that? It's just a halibut.
Madam, why are you carrying around a dead fish in there? I don't want to know.
It's sort of like man money. So what do you say? 3 crowns and it's yours. 5 crowns and I'll toss it out that window right now. No questions asked.
Fine. Have it your way.
Look out below!
Hey, wait a minute. If the old Duke is still alive, then that would mean...
Whoa! A direct hit! Oh, that's gonna cost somebody a pretty penny to pick up.
That would mean I wouldn't have to wear this stupid bloody crown anymore.
Right this way. Duke's a very busy man.
No more meetings, no more paperwork. I could just juggle all day.
Look, it's all quite moot.
The guards rush in instead.
Pirates! Pirates! We're being attacked by pirates!
Oh, good grief. Not you, too.
We saw them! Well, we saw one of them.
He had me like this, and then like that.
And you didn't believe me.
Of course I didn't believe you. You're just the serving wench.
Oh.
Besides, you just heard her say we were wrong about that silly piece of paper.
Guard 2?
Well, he didn't. And then he poked me again, like this and like this.
But the coins, what about the coin?
And then he poked me again, like this and like this.
And then he threatened to slice him in two.
Well, he didn't actually say in two. What he said.
That's a much better word, don't you think?
Forget the words. Where was this? The market square? Some dark alley?
Here in the castle.
The castle. The pirates are here in the castle.
Huh, I'm definitely staying here now.
Not just any pirate either.
He said he was the dead pirate Antonio.
Oh, I've heard of him.
They've breached the walls. They've overrun our defenses. Well, don't just stand there. Go fight them.
We could fling dead fish at them. Zounds! Suddenly I'm a defense contractor.
Wait, I have a better idea.
You do? Really? Well, that's a first.
What's that?
I can't tell you. It's a secret, but quick, give me your apron.
You're going to attack them with my apron?
No, I'm going to attack them with my trusty sword. I'm going to lure them into a false sense of security with your apron.
Scene 6, a passageway in the castle. Antoinette and the court poet are at a locked door.
What do you mean it won't work?
I never said I had all the ingredients.
You fool!
But you never asked.
I had a sword pointed at your neck. Don't you think that would lead you to think I wanted you to tell me everything?
Well, it made me nervous. I don't work well when I'm nervous.
So what do you need?
Well, let's see. We need some large quantities of hydrogen and chlorine.
Where are we going to find all that?
Well, the best way to produce hydrogen is to start with water molecules and then use electrolysis to separate the hydrogen atoms from the oxygen atoms.
I mean here in the castle.
Oh. You have rather high expectations, don't you? You know, your generation has really come to expect instant gratification. Oh, not that there's anything wrong with that, mind you.
Something combustible. We need something that will dissolve metal. Where are we going to find?
Angelo the chef enters with a cauldron.
Ah, there you are. I wondered where you'd gotten to. You want to try my latest soup? I've added a few more ingredients. Lizard's legs and Howlet's wing. I'm still short on that scale of dragon. But you better hurry. It looks like it's starting to eat away at my cauldron. I think that's a good sign, don't you?
Yes, I think that's a very good sign.
Scene 7, a passageway in the castle. The guards and Geraldo Eder dressed as women. You may want to have the first few lines delivered from off stage.
I don't like the looks of this.
Actually, I think you look rather fetching.
I think I liked it better when we were just minor characters.
Will you two just shut up and play along?
I don't see how this is going to help us fight the pirates.
I've told you, we use this to trick them. The pirates will be so overtaken by our beauty, they'll have to let their guard down. That's when we pounce.
As long as they don't let their pants down. Hey!
Hey, shh. I think I hear something. Pucker up, boys.
Oh, I'm puckered all right.
Scene 8, in the dungeon, Tristan, Celestia, and Malvina are chained to the walls. Lorenzo is sampling a dish.
Mwah! Perfect.
So, is it ready yet?
Oh no. Now I need to let it bake for, 6 hours or so.
Great. Don't bother saving me any.
Cheer up, Tristan. You know Antoinette will be here soon.
A knock on the door.
I wonder who that could be.
Could it be?
Fernando enters, followed by the jester and the sommelier. They shut the door behind them.
You.
Guess not.
Anybody home?
It's not like we're going anywhere.
Lorenzo, how you been? So you ready for the big day?
Well, I wouldn't say that.
Oh, well, I see you've got company. Which one of you jailbirds is the lucky one?
I don't think luck is exactly the right word.
Ah, but luck can either be a good or bad word now, can't it? So, I gather you must be the man of the hour. Don't mind me, I'm just here to take a few measurements. Want to take you out in style, we do. So, if you'll just hold still, let's see. Wait. You seem to have put on some pounds there, I see. I didn't realize that prison gruel was so fattening. Oh, well, you won't have to worry about that much longer now, will you?
Must you be so cheerful?
I'm not cheerful at all.
And you don't know how much I appreciate that.
So, will you fellows be staying for dinner? I've prepared a special treat, and it's got tomatoes in it.
Sommelier offers a flower.
Flowers for the table, sir?
Oh, why, thank you.
The door is kicked in. Antoinette, court poet, and the Angelo the chef enter.
It worked.
Angelo holds up a ladle with the cup part gone or eaten through.
Oh, dear. Look at what it did to the ladle.
Antoinette brandishes her sword.
Unhand him.
Antoinette?
'Tis I, and I have come to rescue you, dear brother. Back away from him, you murderous fiend, or you shall taste cold steel.
The taste tester?
Yes, to you, the taste tester.
I knew he wasn't to be trusted.
To others, the dread pirate Antonio.
Oh dear, a pirate. Is there something I'm forgetting?
But to your prisoner here, his only blood kin.
What's going on here?
The keys. Which one of you has the keys?
Lorenzo shrugs.
Very well then, the soup. Careful, Tristan. This may burn a little.
This court poet and Angelo the chef approach Tristan with the cauldron. But before they can do anything, Geraldo and the two guards enter, dressed as women. At some suitable point, the court poet Angelo the chef resume their efforts to free Tristan by dissolving his chains in the chef's soup.
Yoo-hoo! Has anyone seen any pirates in these parts?
What the?
He's a pirate.
Oh my! What a sharp sword you have. You know, I've always wanted to meet a pirate in the flesh. Isn't that right, girls? I said, isn't that right, girls?
That's right.
Please, sir, could I have just one teensy look at your big, sharp sword?
Hands off the sword.
Oh, seems my feminine charms are not enough to persuade you to part with your sword.
Geraldo pulls out his own sword and now speaks in his normal male voice.
And perhaps this will have to do.
Geraldo rips off his wig.
You see, I am not a woman, soft and weak. I am Geraldo, Lord Chamberlain of the Duchy of Illyrium, and we shall fight man to man. Now yield, pirate, and I shall run you through.
Antoinette laughs darkly as she and Geraldo circle one another.
You pathetic cross-dressing fool. I cannot fight you man to man.
Indeed. Meet your master, dread pirate. Yield.
Antoinette takes off her hat and shakes out her hair to reveal her gender.
I cannot fight you man to man because I am not a man.
The crowd gasps.
Yes, I am the dread pirate Antonio, but I am also a woman, and I am neither soft nor weak. I am Antoinette, and I have sworn an oath to free my brother from his vile dungeon.
I knew I was forgetting something.
Throughout this scene, until further notice, Antoinette and Geraldo engage in a sword fight while the rest of the players on stage watch.
Well, this is certainly an interesting plot twist.
I don't know. Kind of cliched, actually. Shakespeare did this sort of thing much better.
Shakespeare? I love Shakespeare.
You get back to work.
Right.
Of course, we weren't in any Shakespeare plays.
Well, you've got a point there.
And you've got points too. Use them.
No way! We might get hurt!
He fights dirty.
That's right, I do.
Antoinette scores some advantage in the fight and nearly nicks Geraldo.
Hey!
Guess we can ditch this get-up now, eh?
Probably so.
The guards take off their wigs and aprons, then stand by and watch.
So, will you ladies, gentlemen, be staying for dinner?
Antoinette and Geraldo continue fighting.
I've set an extra place just in case.
Oh, do you need flowers?
Ooh, that would be nice. Do you think you need to set 2 places?
Antoinette scores some advantage against Geraldo.
No!
Oh, I don't think so. 1 should do.
You know, this reminds me of a joke.
Antoinette breaks off the fight and puts the sword to Fernando. Geraldo, winded, gasps for breath.
It does it? Well, this is no joke.
On the other hand,
Thank you.
Antoinette resumes fighting Geraldo. Guards 1 and 2 have finally removed their women's clothing.
Phew, that feels a lot better.
You know, you're not nearly so good looking now. You might want to put the wig back on.
Guard 1 hits guard 2.
Hey!
Sally, Joanna, and the artist rush in and see there's a sword fight in progress.
What's going on?
Well, I think we're in the denouement of the piece. I think we'll probably soon have some sort of relativity moments, followed by some exposition, and then possibly some kind of moral to the story. And
Either that or it's a big sword fight to appeal to the young male demographic.
Oh, that's a nice looking blade she has. You know, the old Duke had a sword just like that.
Good thing I can expand this recipe.
Ever thought about trying some fish in that? I might happen to have some with me.
Free my brother, and I might, just might, spare your life.
That's her brother?
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Never.
Okay, have it your way.
What's the guy's name?
I believe it's Tristan.
Tristan. Interesting.
What do you think?
Worth a shot.
How are you guys coming?
Almost there.
Oh, that burns.
Sorry, I think I went a little too heavy on the toe of frog. It was a big frog.
There.
Free.
Tristan breaks free of the shackles. Tristan, court poet, and chef rush to free Malvina by dissolving her chains with a chef's soup.
And me, don't forget about me.
And whoever that is.
Malvina, eh?
That's what he said.
The herald enters.
Hear ye, hear ye.
No one is paying attention.
Oh, never mind. You can figure it out.
Duke enters.
Have I missed anything? I heard there was a party. Oh, entertainment and everything.
Okay, the whole cast is here, so I think the big finish will begin pretty soon.
If it hasn't already.
True.
Hey, way to go, Geraldo. Why is he fighting with a girl?
It's a visual gimmick, mostly, to provide some action while the exposition unfolds.
And here I thought it was rather clever commentary on cultural stereotyping of gender roles in the theater.
Antoinette puts a sword to guard 1. Geraldo, winded, gasps for breath.
Okay.
On the other hand, a very effective one.
Thank you.
Told you.
Antoinette resumes fighting Geraldo. Joanna is concerned they might break something expensive.
Hey, watch out! Those are expensive, you know.
Sally steps toward Antoinette and Geraldo.
Stop.
Antoinette and Geraldo stop fighting.
What's wrong? Is this the intermission or something?
Guard 2?
That intermission or something. Ah, no, that was a long time ago, actually. You missed it.
Joanna moves whatever it was that Antoinette and Geraldo nearly broke.
Let me just move this out of the way. You won't believe what these are going for these days.
May I see your sword, please?
Geraldo and Antoinette hand their swords to Sally, who hands Antoinette's to the artist to inspect. Geraldo is winded, gasps for breath, while Antoinette waits patiently.
Yes, definitely. I can tell by the baker's mark in the hilt, but that still doesn't prove anything, you realize. He could have come by it by any number of means.
Sally hands the swords back.
Thank you. May I resume?
Thank you.
Antoinette and Geraldo resume their sword fight.
On guard.
Touche.
Hey.
Still, the circumstantial evidence is overwhelming.
So, who are they?
The one on the left is her servant. So she claims. Very forgetful, too. Can't remember a thing, actually. I don't think she'll be much use to you.
And the one on the right?
Some fortune teller?
Free us all or the dragon shall eat the moon.
Dragon? There's a dragon?
Pay attention.
Sorry, but I needed dragon scales to complete my recipe.
Oh, well, don't say I didn't warn you.
Forgetful, you say?
Very.
I see no other recourse. Do you?
Well, there's a hypnos or a psychoanalysis.
But this would be more dramatic.
True.
Very well, then.
Artist approaches Malvina just as she is freed from her shackles.
We got it.
What's in this stuff anyway?
This may hurt a little.
Artist whacks Malvina on the head with something.
Ow!
Maybe it wasn't hard enough.
Artist whacks Malvina on the head again.
What are you doing to my servant, knave?
Antoinette puts the sword to the artist.
Huh. I'm not doing anything to your servant, ma'am.
Liar.
Geraldo lunges at Antoinette. She turns and fights him off, then returns to the artist.
Actually, I'm doing something to your mother.
What?
Antoinette? Tristan?
And to the Duchess of Illyrium.
Well, I have a wife now. Nobody tells me anything.
Well, it's all coming back to me now.
Good. You can tell me later. We need to get out of here.
Geraldo lunges again at Antoinette and she fights him off. Suddenly, Malvina speaks in a strong, clear voice, used to giving commands.
No, they need to get out of here.
Yes, and if horses had wings, we'd all ride for free. Now, come on.
Hey, that's a good one. Isn't that a good one?
Tell me, sir, what lord do you serve?
This really isn't the time.
Actually, I think it's the perfect time.
Agreed.
Speaking of time, I wish they'd hurry this up. I want to get to the cast party.
I'm sworn to serve the Lord, who by right and by law rules this fair city, madam.
Then kneel and serve her, knave.
Antoinette and Geraldo both stop fighting.
What?
You heard me. Kneel before thy master.
But the Duke is right over there.
Here.
What bloody page are we on?
80.
The bottom of 80.
It's about time.
No,
Here it comes.
the Duke is gone, lost to tempestuous seas many seasons ago, but his eldest child and heir stands before you.
Eh?
Her?
My fog of memory has cleared, and daylight shines bright on a dark day. the day the storms overtook the Duke's vessel and carried him away to those shores from which none returned.
So poetic.
But not all perished that day. His young daughter, an infant son, survived the wreckage,
So sad.
and his wife.
mean,
Yes, my dear Antoinette and my dear Tristan, I'm your mother.
Not exactly like Luke, I'm your father, but I guess it will have to do.
And by law, that means the crown passes to you.
You mean I can take this thing off now?
I don't believe this.
It's rather implausible if you think about it.
But it's true. Not only do their names match those of the late royal family, she wields the sword that belongs to Duke himself.
Carbon steel forged out of iron alloys with trace amounts of magnesium for strength and sulfur for malleability.
And in her pockets carries coins minted for the Duke's personal treasury.
Notice the telltale double strike on the observe, common with that particular master die that was used at that time.
Yeah, an interesting theory, but that proves nothing.
And behold, her noble Bing. Does she not carry herself like a royal?
Yes, I don't have to be the Duke anymore. I do not have to be the Duke.
Okay, you got me there.
So, does this mean there's not going to be a fight to the finish?
Speaking of which, I sure hope we're near the finish.
What say you, Antoinette? Do you claim your heritage? Do you accept your duty?
Accept, but with a reluctant heart. This day I have gained my mother, but lost my father all over again.
Ever notice how they get all poetic when they start talking about themselves? How come we never get any lines like that?
Oh, me as your ruler.
Hail!
Rule I shall with a pirate's eye for cunning and a woman's touch for, well, forget the gender stereotyping. Let's just stick with the pirate's eye for cunning. Lord Chamberlain, what is on my schedule today?
Well, let's see. There's an execution and then a feast.
About the feast, I may be having a little trouble with the soup.
I'm having a lot of trouble with the execution.
You tell me.
I will tell you all. My first act as your sovereign will be to pardon my dear brother Tristan. Henceforth, let the writers of Illyrium scribe their words without fear.
Nice little plug for civil liberties there. I think this must be a message play.
Tristan, some words for the occasion?
The best I have already been set to ink, dear sister. The time is out of joint. Oh, cursed spite, that ever I was born to set it right.
Hamlet, Act 1, Scene 5.
Set it right, I shall. Look at yourselves. Each of you possesses some great talent. Well, maybe not you, Geraldo, but the rest of you. And yet, you are using it in ways that it was intended. I think not. Angelo, you are yearning to bring life to the words of Shakespeare, yet find yourself confined to the kitchen as surely as a prisoner is to a dungeon. Free yourself. Thou art no chef. Thou art an actor.
Really? I am?
A court shall always have a need for players. Lorenzo will have no more need for executioners, but we now need a chef, and your reputation is legend.
Really? You've heard of me?
No, but I can tell Tristan here has put on at least 10 pounds. Joanna, your trade as a fishmonger, you ply your trade as a fishmonger, but your real skill lies not in fish, but in finance. With your eyes for the bottom line, you should be Chancellor of the Esquire.
What's it pay?
My point precisely. And Lucy is here. You can't write a rhyme, but understand the secret language of science better than any man. Anyone, I know. You should not write poems of formulas, complex and strange.
Can you turn ordinary metals into gold?
Sorry.
Figured it wouldn't hurt to ask.
Besides, I already have a court poet now, don't I?
Thank you, sweet sister. Thank you.
Fernando, your bright humor is dimmed by your dark profession. You should not be a funeral director. You should be an entertainer, a director, a comedian, a jester.
Is this some kind of joke?
If so, the joke's on you, because you, Claudius, have the dour sobriety of a funeral director.
Yes, ma'am. Right this way, ma'am.
So, did you hear the one about the...
Later, please.
Right.
If I might offer one suggestion.
What's that?
You need a stage name. What do you... Yorick, you know, from Hamlet. Alas, poor Yorick. I knew him, Horatio. What do you think? Kind of clever, huh?
Yeah, let me get back to you on that one.
You, Olivia, what of you? You know your aromas and your bouquets, just not with the wines. You should be the royal florist.
Sommelier offers a rose.
A champagne rose, ma'am.
Thank you.
Hey, what about me?
What about you?
Do you need a juggler?
Most definitely.
Excellent.
Oranges, sir, or grapefruit?
Oh, oranges.
Lorenzo tosses the Duke some oranges, and the Duke begins juggling.
You, my friends, whatever shall I do with you?
How about some more lines in Act 1?
Make our own sequel, you know, like Rosencrantz and Guildenstern.
That was Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead.
Well, scratch that then.
I think I have the perfect roles for you.
Oh, yes, the role of a lifetime.
I'm thinking a romantic lead myself.
High school English teachers.
What?
Besides, you can keep the armor. You'll need it for the hall monitor duty.
She's right about that, of course.
Antoinette addresses Sally and the artist.
As for you.
I am here to serve you, my lord.
Yes, but not as a serving wench. You puzzled out the tale even before I did.
She's going to put her in charge of jigsaw puzzles.
Quiet!
You I put in charge of our defenses, to keep a watchful eye on our enemies, both foreign and domestic.
I shall protect you with my life, my lord.
And you, Amelia, you may not have been able to paint a portrait, but surely you can paint a picture of the past. The antiquities of the city are yours to study.
Thank you, my lord.
Did you catch that? That's a huge inconsistency in the plot. How does she know Amelia was an artist? All that happened when she was off stage.
Maybe Antoinette actually read the script.
You, young Phoebe, make one final announcement as herald. I shall need an artist to paint my official portrait. Do you know where I might find one?
The herald reveals a portrait of Antoinette already sketched.
Is my nose really that big? And now I come to you, Geraldo, foolish and vain, but not bad with a sword, if I must say so.
Yes, what do you have for me?
I'm not sure, actually. I'll have to come back to you.
What a cop-out. Don't you think that's a cop-out?
By my count, we're going to need a herald, a sommelier, a fishmonger. Well, assuming we actually need a fishmonger.
Oh, I definitely vote for fishmonger.
And so, my friends, the world is now set right.
Celestia is still held captive cuffs.
And I believe we still have a feast on the schedule.
Hello?
Let the feast begin!
Why is it getting dark outside?
Maybe because it's nighttime?
No, it's the moon. Look at it. Part of it's missing.
I told you, the dragon.
A dragon? Where?
Geraldo, fearful, leaps into Antoinette's arms.
If only I were still making soup.
Look, it's an eclipse.
Of course it's an eclipse. What did you think it was?
Well, if I was still a chef, now would be a good time to get my slips of you slivered in the moon's eclipse.
Can I put you down now?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Your Royal Highness, may I present to you the great Celestia.
Royal astronomer.
Thank you, ma'am. If I could but ask you one favor.
Well, then, my friends, our next task then is clear, is it not?
Oh, I certainly hope so.
To the courtyard to view the eclipse, and then to the feast.
To the feast!
Exit except Celestia, still shackled. Antoinette addresses Geraldo as they exit.
So, how do you feel about fish?
Excuse me, madam, sir, anyone? Don't forget me, the great Celestia, the moderately okay Celestia. Hello? Hello?
After all have exited, the herald enters and holds up an elaborately drawn sign that reads, "The End."
Oh, well, there's another one in June.
Awesome job, everybody.
That was fantastic.
That was a lot of fun.
Woo, where's the cast party?
Right?
Amen.
Your house and your
Australia.
house and your house. Australia.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Dwayne. This was fun.
Yes, thank you, Dwayne.
It was
Thank you.
lots of fun.
Thank you. Enjoyed.
Thanks, Dwayne.
Thanks.
Thanks, Wayne.
It's fun.
Thanks.
Good day.
When's the next one?
I'll let you know.
Awesome. Thank you, sir.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Bye, everybody. Good night, everybody.
Good.
Night, guys. Thank you,
Bye.
Dwayne.
Y'all have a
Fun.
good afternoon.
Good evening. Take care.
Have a good whatever day part you're in.
Bang.
Okay. We can-